Hey Chicago, this is your host, Casey. Please stay tuned after this episode for some very exciting announcements. Thanks. Hey Chicago, you're listening to Cold Sweat Podcast with your host, Casey Diamond. Hi everyone, welcome back to Cold Sweat Podcast. I'm your host, Casey Diamond, and with me today I have Once Upon a Pumpkin, Maggie Michalczyk. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So before we get started, we always do Class I Tried, and I actually saved this one for you because the class I wanted to talk about was berries.
Ooh, yeah.
I know it's a favorite of yours.
Yes, for sure.
So I actually, when I started this podcast, I hadn't tried berries yet, and then along the way I kind of took a class, and I want to go back for another one, but trying to spread it out a little bit. And so for those of you that don't know, the format of the class is intervals, and you go between the treadmill and floor and weights. So I don't know, what do you love it. So how often are you going? What are you doing when you're there?
Yeah, totally. So right now I probably go once a week, and I really look forward to it that way. I think a couple more times a week than that on occasion, but sometimes that can be really hard on your body because it is a lot of running and it is a lot of weights at the same time. So I think the main reason that I really like it and how I fell in love with it was because it really made me kind of push myself and test myself to see if I could, increase just by a little bit each time I went, or, maybe pick up a heavier weight the next time I went, and just try different instructors and find one that is really suited to A, your music liking, and then B, kind of the style of stuff and how you want to feel the next day. So getting into that groove and kind of, experimenting with different instructors and different times of the day, taking it really just continued to push me more than I felt any other workout class has. And that's what's kept me going. And since it's different every single time, you're always guessing, and it's never, you never really know what to expect. And that's what I really like about it.
Mm-hmm. So who are your favorite teachers?
They are all so good. And every time I take a new teacher, I'm just like, wow, I can't believe I didn't take that one yet. So good. I love Kate Lemire. She
has the best Instagram.
Yeah.
I haven't taken her class yet.
She's hilarious.
She's and so great.
So motivational. But honestly, the whole crew over there, I also really like Trista's classes. They're super tough. And Spencer's classes will really, really make you push yourself. So if you're in the mood for a challenge, sign up for his.
Yeah, I definitely got that feeling when I was in there. And actually, I can't even remember who my instructor was now, which is terrible of me. But you definitely are motivated to push yourself because there are people around you who are really like taking the instructor's advice when they're like, okay, push it one more. And so people are going around you, and I'm, down at like the 6 miles per hour, like, yeah, I'm running. Like
Exactly, though. That's the thing too. And I always tell my friends or my sisters, I'm always asking them to come with me because I say, it's all at your pace, the pace you want to be. You really can stay in your lane, but then the people around you, you can tell that they're working hard, and so they're motivating you at the same time. And I was just thinking too, like Brett and Jason are great instructors as well.
Yeah. And I also because I feel like people think that there's this reputation for being a little bit intimidating or a little bit like you can't join the club, but I did not get that vibe at all when I was there. I felt like everybody was really welcoming, and once you get in there and the lights are off, it's like nobody's paying attention to you.
Exactly.
Like you can, if you want to drop a weight or, run a little bit slower, nobody's really going to pay attention to you. I mean, but you are motivated to like go that extra step for sure.
Exactly. So totally you do you. I mean, really nobody else is looking at you. They're worried about themselves or looking at themselves in the mirror. Yeah. And really the instructors make you feel so welcome just when you walk in, and they've got your back. So if you're not feeling something and you need to modify, like just you do you, and that's how you go.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like before class, the instructors are always standing outside, and they're like high-fiving you on your way in, and then on the way out, they're high-fiving you on the way out. Like they're definitely like, it's all a team. I feel like even though it's obviously individual, you feel like you're in there like going for a goal together, which is really nice. I thought the funniest thing was that it's so dark in there and it's so loud that I couldn't always tell where the instructor was in the room. And so he'd be like, okay, look at me, I'm over here, like demonstrating. I'd be like, where are you? Like, I can't find you.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it. I like that it's dark.
I love it.
Yeah, and kind of red. And
oh, yeah. I definitely like that it's dark. I mean, I love Soul Cycle. I love, now I love berries. I'm trying to think of other dark classes, like any cycling class or any, like, dark studio class, because obviously form is important, especially when you're lifting weights, right. But it doesn't, at some point you kind of just have to, like, get out of your own head a little bit, which I like.
Exactly. And that's, like, so my type of party. Like, the music's in there. It's super loud. It's, like, dark. I'm like, I'll take that on a Friday night any day.
Yeah, I know. It's starting to be my new go-to. Even, actually, so announcement, for my birthday, we're having a Soul Cycle charity ride, which I'm really excited about. And so it's funny because just talking about having a party on a Friday night, it's like now I'm like, I literally don't even want to go out for my birthday. I just want to, like, take a Soul Cycle class, and that's my rave, and I'm done.
I love that. No, that's such a great idea.
So let's get started, and I kind of wanted to talk first about your background. So you're a registered dietitian, and you run a really popular Instagram called Once Upon a Pumpkin. And so do you want to kind of explain, your background, why you love pumpkins, all of that?
Yeah, totally. So, yeah, as you said, I'm a registered dietitian. So I did my undergrad at Michigan State, where I studied dietetics. And in order to become a dietitian, you need to do an internship following graduation for a year in a hospital in, like, more clinical settings. And so it was in that year that Once Upon a Pumpkin was born. And I was kind of at home, not really doing much after I got back from the internship at night. And yeah, kind of my love for all things fall started coming out, and I started finding all these pumpkin products. And my friends who were also in the internship, my fellow dietetic interns, kind of made fun of me and said, why do you always bring pumpkin stuff like in your lunch? Like, I'd bring a pumpkin spice yogurt or, probably something funny that I found at Trader Joe's that I was trying. And so they were the ones that originally encouraged me to start the Instagram page, and so then it kind of just grew from there. And as I evolved with the different pumpkin products, I was kind of like, wait, you can actually do so much more with pumpkin besides just, like, put it in your latte or something like that, or cooking with it, and sweets and more savory dishes, and pumpkin chili and pumpkin dog treats. So
oh my gosh,
over the years it has definitely evolved into more things pumpkin and beyond, and I'm still having fun with it and excited for fall, though, and that's where its original core is, really the fall time. So
yeah. So obviously, as you said, you can put pumpkin in so many things, and it does have that taste benefit of it can go with sweeter dishes or savory dishes, but also there is that nutritional element of it too. I know you've mentioned before on your Instagram that there are a lot of nutritional benefits. Can we kind of go over those?
Yeah, for sure. So I think it's like the original orange vegetable, and while it is very seasonal to the fall, I love showing how you can use it in so many things throughout the year for that nutritional benefit. I mean, if that's just putting it into a smoothie in the summer to get more vitamin A, more vitamin C, it's a great source of fiber. It's got some iron in there, and those are some nutrients that we're not getting a lot of. So why not pick up a can of pumpkin that's super cheap, add it to your oatmeal, yogurt bowls, bake with it. I mean, it's a great butter and oil replacement too.
Is it really?
You can use it that way, or even an egg for vegan recipes. You can spot pumpkin in for an egg.
I had no idea how versatile it was. Obviously, you've done a lot of research, and you're coming out with a book in the fall.
Yeah, so the Once Upon a Pumpkin book is in process right now. I just actually finished up a couple of recipes today, and so that's just going to be kind of a big culmination of all these recipes that I've sort of created and have been, used and tried and true over the past couple years. So I'm really excited, and it's going to be really functional, from breakfast recipes to more savory things, and then stuff that's gluten-free and paleo and lower in sugar. And so I'm really excited to kind of show the array of different things you can do with pumpkin that way.
So was your interest in cooking, did that sprout from being a registered dietitian, or was it kind of vice versa?
Yeah, so I think it did sprout from being a dietitian. I had always had an interest in being a part of what was going on in the kitchen, you know, whether that was with my mom growing up or, you know, just making my own lunches to take to school with me was like a very important priority I did every night. So kind of from there, I was always really interested in the stuff that I ate and, you know, the different cultural stuff that was all around me as a kid, food-wise. And so then I really started to realize I enjoy being in the kitchen. I like, you know, getting creative with my hands and making something. And then I love like seeing people's reaction and kind of just, you know, being that host or having a dinner party and making the menu and the meals. And so, yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, I definitely love being the hostess and preparing something for everybody. I think it's so rewarding to watch people enjoy the things that you are making. So my question is, I know you've been testing a lot of recipes for this book. Do you want to go through the process of like how you're inspired for a recipe and then how you test all the different versions of it, I guess, to pick the best one?
Yeah, for sure. So it's kind of a tedious process sometimes because sometimes one recipe you'll get it in one try and it'll be exactly what you were kind of thinking of in your mind. And then other times I'll go through like 4 or 5 versions of it because it's just like not coming out the way that I had it in my mind. And I think I draw inspiration from, well, not only like our food scene here in Chicago, so I'll go somewhere and have something and it'll kind of be like, well, how can I put pumpkin into that? Or, ooh, you know, this would be really good with pumpkin seeds on top or something. Yeah. So I kind of pull a lot of flavor inspiration from that. Also, too, just a lot of stuff that I like. So if I'm like, oh, if I would like this in a pumpkin version, let me play around and see how I can make that work. So definitely inspiration from the Chicago food scene, other bloggers out there. I think, you know, really help to get the creative juices flowing and
So you mentioned that you have like a little bit of paleo in your book and other like different diet modifications. Is there any sort of diet that you keep in your own life?
Yeah, so, you know, when it comes to dieting, I definitely don't have one diet or, you know, way of eating that I am strictly adhering to. And I really don't believe that is sustainable long term. So that's not something I recommend with my clients, to be on like a super hardcore diet, you know, or maybe a fad diet that's just kind of like a temporary fix. Like I'm definitely not about that. I'm more into like a lifestyle change and choices. And so for myself, it's tough. You know, I really try to stick to the backbone of, you know, getting in those fruits and vegetables, that the sources of protein, lots of protein and fiber. And I always think too, like, is this something I want? Like, how do I keep the fun in my diet? Or, you know, you're like in different seasons all the time. You know, the seasons are changing. You want different things. And so I try really hard to honor my hunger and to listen to my body and be mindful that way. But I'm definitely not restrictive. Like, if I want something, I'll go out and get it, and I'm not going to be too worried about it. And I think that taking the stress out of it and realizing that, you know, your body is craving that sort of thing for a reason is super important and gives you a lot of freedom to make those choices. So that's why I kind of want to take the book and have a lot of different options for whatever people are doing at that time.
So what are small, impactful changes that we can make in our own diets if we want to be healthier? Yeah,
I think starting to be more mindful of the things that you eat is always like can be a huge shift in perspective. So just stepping back and evaluating kind of, okay, like, are these choices that I'm making with my food serving me well? Like, am I feeling good? Am I able to take a Berries Bootcamp class and feel good, for example?
Yeah.
And so I think stuff like that. I'm a huge proponent of taking probiotics and including probiotics into your diet.
My mom was like trying to get me to take those forever, and she was like, they're so good for you, you should just take them. And I never really understood what they were. And also, I was trying to explain to my dad kombucha.
Yeah.
And I guess, can you explain the probiotic element of that so I can explain it to him?
Yeah, so it's a fermented tea, and the fermentation process gives it that probiotic boost, and you're getting that from the culture, which is like the yeast starter that you need to make the tea, basically. And so anything fermented like that will contain those, you know, really gut beneficial probiotics. So like kimchi, I'm trying to think what else, like fermented yogurt will have it. But kombucha has a lot of it in it. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good one.
Is there pumpkin kombucha?
Oh my gosh, I don't know, but I tried to make it one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I was going to say you should try to make it.
I did. Making kombucha at home, brewing it on your own is really hard. Like, you have to keep up with it daily and weekly, and it was getting out of hand for me. But I did try to make a pumpkin version. I'll have to try that again.
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably somebody out there who's trying to make it and sell it. So
Yeah. Well, if they're listening to this podcast, please hit me up because I'd love to try it.
Do you think that having your Instagram has actually like kind of motivated you to stay healthier because you post a lot what you're eating every day? Is that kind of a motivational factor for you?
Yeah, it definitely is motivating for me, and I definitely get motivated when I can share something that motivates somebody else. So if someone's been looking for one type of hummus or something, and they need it to be XYZ for their diet, and like I could share that information with them, I feel really motivated and accomplished in my job. So I always try to put stuff out there that I feel like is really helpful and informational to others and fun. So,
I love your pepper witch.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of fun.
I love that too. And I feel like it's so like Halloween for some reason.
Yeah.
So I love just saying the word.
Pepper witch. Oh, yeah, it is kind of.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But.
No. Yeah, that's a great example because I do try to keep the fun in the foods for sure. And with the pumpkin thing, and not take myself too seriously and be like, hey, this is pumpkin.
Yeah. So I want to go back to kind of something you mentioned earlier about like, sometimes, we are taking these high intensity fitness classes, but we aren't always fueling the right way. So I really wanted to break down what we should be eating before a workout and after a workout for the best effects. But then I also wanted to really talk about how we balance that with, eating for fun, which I think you do really well because, some people it becomes only about like counting the macros or doing whatever, and it becomes only about fueling your body for the next thing that you're going to do versus like actually enjoying what you're eating. So that was a lot of questions in one. So first, I guess let's break down like what we should be eating before and after a workout.
Yeah. So I think it's really important to fuel before and after, and it is a very personal thing. So people, depending on your workout time of day, depending on, the stuff of the foods that you like and whatnot, it can be very individual to you and your needs. But as a great rule of thumb, I think before a workout, it's really important to have a little bit of a mix of carbs, of good, healthy carbs, and protein to keep you fueled throughout that workout and feeling good. Because I think the worst thing is when you're like there, you're dressed, you're ready to do it, and then all of a sudden you're like feeling like you can't because maybe, you're getting hungry halfway through or just didn't have enough of that quick energy in your bloodstream helping you through it, that little quick hit of carbs. So I definitely rely on snacks like peanut butter and a banana, or a little bit, a tablespoon of almond butter and a banana, or something like that combination to fuel me depending on the time of the day. And then post-workout, it's super important to, and you'll probably have heard of like that window of fueling time that you should be having food in approximately 30 to 60 minutes after you work out to really replenish and repair your muscles and get back that fuel that you just burned off. So more of a protein-heavy meal or snack in that place, I think, prevents a lot of, like, you from feeling hangry right after or waiting too long to eat and then overdoing it. So, I think there's some great quick options to take on the go. Maybe that's a bar to have afterwards if your next meal is not coming for a while, or maybe as a good dinner example, like some salmon, vegetables, and quinoa, or a good source of protein and those fiber-filled vegetables afterwards would be a really good choice.
Maybe some pumpkin.
Oh, yeah, totally. You could have a good pumpkin recovery smoothie.
Ooh, oh my gosh, you have all the answers. So I guess for somebody like myself who's a young quote-unquote millennial, I hate that term, but it is what it is, who's maybe grocery shopping on a budget, how could they like find things to fuel themselves before and after a workout, but still, you know, kind of like, I went grocery shopping this week, and I only grocery shop for 1 week, but I'm sticking to a nutritional plan, and I noticed that I spent, like, way more than I would normally. So I guess, how do you find that balance between, like, sticking to your budget but also eating healthy?
Yeah, so I totally can relate, because I'm like, I'm only going to spend this much money at the grocery store, and then lo and behold, your cart is filled with stuff that you're not sure if you need, and it's like $100 later.
I know.
So a couple of things I like to do, and depending on the store you shop at, like Wednesdays is a huge sale day. So look for that. You know, at your store, just start noticing the prices of things, because maybe they'll drop midweek there. And usually on Sundays, when people are doing the bulk of their shopping, that's unfortunately the day when they're not on sale, and things are maybe priced regularly or higher because they know that shoppers are doing their shopping that day. Another fun little trick I always like to do, especially for like produce, which can get pricey depending on how much you're buying, vegetables, and it can be hard for one too, because if you're not going through all of it, then you could be wasting some, and that's like extra money.
Yeah, I waste so much food, unfortunately. It's like my worst habit, because
it's super tough to...
Yeah, especially with produce, because it can go bad so quickly.
Right.
It's like I can't eat that much, but...
Yeah, so for that, I love to use the salad bar to my advantage. So I will pick up veggies that maybe I need for a recipe or like one certain thing, but that I know I'm not going to eat a whole bag of if I bought the bag for its regular price in the produce section. Let the grocery store do the work for you and pick it out from the salad bar, and then just pay by weight, which ends up being less than it would be if you bought all those things individually.
That is something I've never considered before, and now I'm like, what have I been doing my whole life?
It is such a time saver too, if you're not wanting to prep stuff on Sunday or Monday and, you know, just don't have the time that week. Just grab it from there, you know, make your proteins instead, focus on that, and then just have the chopped and pre-cut veggies.
Yeah, because actually buying the pre-cut veggies and fruit in the actual produce section is so expensive. So now I'm like really mad.
And then too, I know we were talking about this before, but like since Amazon has Whole Foods, they're offering a lot of great discounts now too. So if you are a Prime member, you can get like 10% off of sale items at Whole Foods, which adds up, you know. And bring your own bag, because
save the 7 cents.
Save
and the world, I guess.
For sure. Doing the part for the environment.
Yeah. I've tried to like coupon, but that takes so much time. It takes a lot of time to gather it and like match it to your grocery list, and then be like, do I need that because it has a coupon? And it becomes a lot of work. But that's like, but I mean, just going to the produce or to the salad bar instead of the produce section is a really easy swap that you can make, that you're getting the same exact thing.
Yeah. And with that too, so I'll try to stick to that type of routine when I'm there and kind of scope things out, but then use the salad bar for the rest. And then I will like I will allow myself to pick up a couple like fun things. Like maybe it's like a new product that you haven't seen before. And I think that keeps it fun too. Yeah. You're like excited to have it and, you know, try something different.
That's so true. So then going back to the original question, so then there's like besides eating for fuel, there's also the side of eating for the soul. And I feel like, you know, we obviously, the first time we met, we had talked a lot about, like, you know, the way people view their own eating habits, and what people, you know, obviously have a love-hate relationship with food sometimes. And so I guess, what have you seen, like, with your clients? What are people coming to you for? Do they want to have that, like, you know, love for eating food, or is it really they want you to tell them how to, like, you know, drop 5 pounds immediately?
Right, yeah. Well, and it's a little bit of both. I will say honestly, a lot of people do kind of want a quicker fix and want to know exactly what are the right types of foods to eat, you know, for weight loss. And that's a really individualized question. And two, I think it can get very difficult and stressful when you're just focusing on all the things you can't have, especially in this time, in the summertime, when, you know, we're really social and everyone's out a lot, and it's just all these fun occasions that I feel that life is way too short to stress over eating at these occasions. And so I always try to say, I think it'll give you a lot more joy if you have the thing that you want and don't focus on not having it, because that will only make you want it more. But rather focus on maybe a different small change that you can make, or maybe it's a swap and you'll have that. You'll have the good dessert, but maybe you won't get drinks. Or just a small change that will really make you feel like you are making a difference, and you are, but that you're keeping the joy and the fun in something. I always hate thinking about, maybe going to your favorite restaurant or going to your favorite place and kind of sitting out the eating part, or deciding that you're not going to get your favorite thing because you think it's bad or it's filled with carbs or whatnot. So I'm always trying to think of, split it with your best friend, or little cues like that can really go a long way, but that still allow you a lot of enjoyment in the stuff that you're having.
Have you heard about like the pancakes for the table phenomenon that's been going on?
No, I haven't.
I read this article. They were like, ordering pancakes for the table is a power move because everybody wants them, but nobody wants to order them. So you're just like, pancakes for the table, and then everybody gets a taste of what they really want.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much.
So now whenever you go to brunch, pancakes for the table.
Oh, pumpkin pancakes for the table. Pancakes. Yeah. Because what's better than enjoying that moment with the people that you're with and having fun and focusing on that rather than focusing on the foods that you can't have. So I like to think about what else can you have that's going to add some more nutrition to your diet versus stuff to eliminate, because...
Yeah, and I actually was thinking about it while I was putting these questions together and kind of thinking about pumpkin. And I really think that pumpkin is such a great example of like that balance, because it does symbolize a lot of warmth and comfort food, but then at the same time it has so much nutritional value that it's that one thing that you can maybe add to your diet that's like both so comforting, but at the same time isn't gonna make you feel like you ate too much or...
Yeah, I love that you put it in that way. It's just saying it's warm and comforting, because I do think, when you're associating it with the fall and those like fun things and, going to a pumpkin patch or whatever it may be, watching a football game under a cozy blanket, like stuff like that. I love that. And I do think you're onto something, because I can see through, some of my followers and other pumpkin enthusiasts out there that it really brings people a lot of joy all year round. Yeah. Especially too when you incorporate it into something in the summer and you're like, oh, I miss this so much, but you're getting that joy from it, and that flavor is reminding you of so many good emotions. So I do think it can cross multiple seasons to bring joy. And as we're nearing the fall, I think even now, too, people are getting super excited about that feeling again, because it really is all those things. It's the leaves, it's the sweaters, it's the Saturdays spent apple picking or whatever, and those emotions come through in the flavor, and that's a beautiful thing. So putting that in whatever you want is great.
Yeah, I mean, that's a perfect way to sum it up. So I guess before we move on to our listener questions, I'm going to ask you two final questions that I ask almost all my guests, unless I forget. So the first one is, why is it important to you to stay healthy or balanced?
Yeah. I think it's important to me for a variety of reasons. I think I always want to be healthy and quote unquote balanced, when I think that's a really hard thing to achieve. And it's definitely in progress for me. I'm definitely not at the, optimal state of anything, but I work at it, and it's something that I love learning about on a daily basis. So the more I can learn about it, apply it to myself, and then share it with others, that's what keeps me going towards it. And I think, how cool would it be to be, 60 years old and still feel really active and, making those healthy choices. So that's what it's all about. Staying healthy for the long term.
And then the last question I want to ask you before we move on to our other segments is, if there's one thing you want listeners to take away from our conversation, it's blank.
Oh shoot, this is a hard one. Well, as Once Upon a Pumpkin was born out of not it just kind of started as like a fun thing that I didn't really know where it was going, but I really found so much enjoyment from it, and it really allowed me to connect with so many people that I think I want people to follow their passion in that way. So to get from what I did with Once Upon a Pumpkin to, you know, maybe lean into a passion project that you have, and let your interests kind of ride and come out through that, because I think it's really it's a really powerful way to meet other people and to connect with like-minded people in your community. So sharing your messages or information on maybe a topic that you know about, I think is so valuable to others, and that's what I encourage other people to do, and what I think I'd want them to get out of you know, if I can do this with an Instagram that's all about pumpkin, you can do an Instagram that's just about anything you want, and you know, inspire others with that.
That was so motivating. I feel like now I'm motivated. I have my cold sweat Instagram.
Yeah, no, you have your passion project, girl. You're going with it, and that's a beautiful thing.
Thank you. Well, I wasn't fishing for compliments, but okay, so we'll move on to our listener question. I have one today. So it was from somebody who's looking for a protein powder, and they just have no idea what to look for. There's so many different ways or different options out there. I guess, what do you look for in a protein powder, and also like how do you differentiate between them?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I was actually just looking at these the other day, because there was like a bunch of options, and you're right, it can be super tough. So I always kind of look at what is in the ingredients, and usually I'll choose one that's more of like a plant-based protein, so like a pea protein in a protein shake.
Okay.
And I like those better than the whey ones, just because I feel like overall they may have better ingredients. So I'm also looking for like a low sugar content. Fiber and probiotics are a bonus, and a lot of these protein shakes are putting more fiber and probiotics into their mixes, so look for that. Also, you know, anywhere from 15 to 20 grams of protein would be good. And then I would avoid anything that has artificial sweeteners, sugar alcohols.
Have you seen some with those?
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like that should be banned in something that you're trying to like turn into a healthy like lifestyle thing.
Yeah, it's really tough, because they'll sneak them in there and then disguise them as many different ingredients. So as simple as the label can read to you, and if you can understand what's in it, I think that's the best. And then look for low sugar, fiber's a bonus, probiotics are a bonus. Yeah. Good source of protein. And a lot of them too are coming out with ones that have added vegetables in them. So they'll have like spinach, kale already like all blended into this powder, and that could be a fun green smoothie type thing. Yeah,
I noticed that, because I was looking at them the other day too, and I was like, there was one that was like, oh yeah, it's protein plus greens. Yeah. And I was like, I didn't realize that you needed more than just protein, but I guess you do.
Yeah, and those plant ones too, like, will have a lot of greens in them. And I just think that's like a fun bonus. You know, why not add some more greens to your diet when you can that way? I
love sneaking in the greens. Like, I'll make a basically chocolate smoothie, but then I'll throw spinach in there, which is like hidden really well by chocolate for some reason, and avocado in there. I love
that, yeah.
Yeah, it's, oh my gosh, it's like my favorite smoothie I've ever made.
Avocado in a smoothie is so underrated. Just a little gives it that smooth,
I know, it's so
silky texture.
Yeah, it's like, it's so creamy and delicious, and highly recommend my smoothie recipe now. I should start my own book.
Do it.
I don't have enough recipes. Okay, so we're going to move on to our game, which I think you'll really like. Ooh. It's called Put a Pumpkin in It.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm just going to list a few things, and you're going to tell me how you would incorporate pumpkins into it.
Okay.
And I'll give my answer, too.
Okay.
Pumpkin eggs.
Pumpkin deviled eggs.
Ooh, that is not where I would have gone with that. But I never cook with pumpkin, so I would have gone for like scrambled eggs with like pumpkin in it.
Ooh, okay.
But I don't really know, I guess.
No, I mean, I've never tried that, but I could. I could see if that could work.
This will also help you brainstorm for your book if you need any recipes. Pumpkin pizza.
Pumpkin pizza. Just pumpkin pizza.
Where's the pumpkin?
Well, you can cut up a pumpkin and put it on top. Pumpkin in the sauce. You could do canned pumpkin in the pizza sauce.
Stuffed crust with pumpkin.
maybe. That would be cool.
Could you make the crust pumpkin? Like cauliflower crust?
Ooh, maybe. There is pumpkin flour out there, so you could maybe infuse some pumpkin flour into the crust.
Ooh,
yes.
There we go. I feel like drizzling like cinnamon over it.
Yeah, like a little sweet pizza.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Speaking of sweet things, pumpkin candy.
Pumpkin candy. I feel like pumpkin toffee is out there.
Oh.
And like pumpkin... What are those like little sugary...
Like Lifesavers?
Not Lifesavers, but they're like shaped like pumpkins.
Oh, they're kind of like candy corn a little bit.
Yeah, those. You know, shaped like a pumpkin, like a Reese's pumpkin. I mean, you can't go wrong.
You cannot go wrong.
No, so...
Yeah. Oh my gosh, would they ever do like pumpkin peanut butter in the middle?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I mean, hopefully. I'm going to see. I'm watching what's coming out this year. Maybe some new... pumpkin candy.
Do you have like a Google alert out for pumpkin?
I do.
Yeah.
And pumpkin spice.
Oh my gosh. You're on top of it.
And surprisingly, those get a lot of hits in the summer, but it's random.
Yeah.
But now, starting like in August, it'll be more pumpkin like foods.
Like getting ready for the fall. Yeah. Pumpkin pasta.
Ooh, I love pumpkin ravioli.
Okay, yeah.
And there is an amazing dish at this restaurant in Chicago called Sapori Trattoria.
Okay.
It's in Lincoln Park, and they make the best pumpkin ravioli. It is like in this burnt brown butter sauce with crispy
brown
sage.
Butter sauce. That's all I need to know.
So good. Crispy sage, Parmesan cheese, and toasted pine nuts. It's literally like my favorite meal. I don't know how many times I've had it. Probably like a sick amount. Like you wouldn't even want to know how many times we go there. But it's such a cute place. It's a great date night spot, and get that dish because it's so good.
I'm going to have to drag my boyfriend there.
Oh,
although I don't think I'll drag him there. I think he'll willingly go. But
it's like this is like my life-changing dish, I swear.
Yeah, when I was making this, I thought of ravioli, and then I was thinking about like, could you like incorporate it into like the actual pasta? So I guess pumpkin flour would be one.
Yeah, I've seen that. They have pumpkin fettuccine noodles.
Oh, is it orange? Does it come out orange?
Yeah.
I love it when pasta is like different colors. Now.
I know.
Okay, pumpkin massage.
Ooh. Okay. Well, there is a lot of pumpkin body lotion out there.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I was like, oh well, like Bath and Body Works probably has like a whole section.
You can also do like a pumpkin face mask and like massage it onto your face, or like a pumpkin sugar scrub.
Yeah,
with, like brown sugar or regular sugar, and use that.
Yeah. Have you ever tried making your own like pumpkin beauty products?
Yes, I have.
Oh my gosh, you've done everything.
I mean, they didn't come out that well. I'm still perfecting that, but it's really easy. You can do it a couple different ways. So one time I mixed it with like Greek yogurt, pumpkin, honey, like cinnamon, because cinnamon's like really good for your skin as well. And I think that was it. And then I used that as a face mask. But that's been the extent of it. Yeah. I know you can do yogurt. There's something else you can do too. Mix it with, but yeah, there's a couple combinations.
Yeah. Okay. Last one. And, bringing this whole podcast full circle, Barry's pumpkin boot camp.
Oh my God. Work out with a pumpkin.
Yes.
You can use that as a weight in the fall when they come out. And I've done it before. I will say there's a video out there. Yeah.
Like a hidden video, or could I find it pretty easily?
Yeah, it's on my Instagram, but you'd have to scroll back a bunch. But yeah, totally. So using it for like squats and overhead presses, it could be awesome too. Like if you're doing a plank and you want to like touch it with your hands, up and down, or using it as like a kettlebell if you have a sturdy stem, because that can be tragic.
Yeah.
You know, it will come off. Or like a arm move with you.
Oh, the triceps.
Yeah, triceps. Yep.
Yeah, I feel like because a few episodes ago we were talking about all these like free workouts, and a lot of them are outside. I feel like fall when the weather is like almost getting a little bit chillier, so it's nice to be outside. I feel like somebody out there, if you're listening, should host a pumpkin boot camp.
Oh my gosh,
I'll
that'd be
there.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we could do it like at, I don't even know, Millennium Park.
Yeah.
Like, just get a group going.
Just like grab some pumpkins and like go. I mean, I guess we don't even need to like have an organization there.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, if you get a heavy enough one, it will be a real workout.
Yeah, but there's also like so many options. You can drop a weight.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all very useful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I really have for you. Do you want to tell everybody where they can follow you and how to reach out to you if they have questions?
Yeah, for sure. So you guys can follow me at Once Upon a Pumpkin on Instagram. And feel free to message me or email me through Instagram or my blog, which is linked there. And yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions regarding all things pumpkin and or nutrition and or becoming a dietitian and all that kind of fun stuff.
And I also forgot to mention your most important role being Pumpkin's mom.
Oh, yes.
Pumpkin
My
is
little baby.
your puppy. Yes.
Yeah, new dog mom.
And he has his own Instagram, so I follow him.
Yeah, I just had to get him started with one too.
Yeah.
Because I had to document all the cute moments.
I would do the exact same thing. Don't even worry about it.
It's getting harder to juggle both. I'm like, oh my gosh. But
Yeah. Well, even I can't even imagine because I do the Cold Sweat podcast and then I do my own personal Instagram, and switching through both, I'm always like, wait, where am I storing this? Am I posting it to the right account?
Yeah.
And I've screwed up a few times, but nobody noticed, or maybe they did. I don't know.
I know. I think I've done that too. Like, accidentally started to post one of his things on mine, and then.
But the good thing is that you do post pumpkin on your main account, so it's like I would never. I would just be like, oh, pumpkin.
Yeah. You may be seeing more of him this fall on there, so.
Oh, I'm so excited. He's like my favorite Instagram dog.
Oh, thanks. He loves the attention, so. But yeah, he's so chill and lets me put him in all sorts of different clothes, and I'm like, Pumpkin, sit there so I can take a picture, and he will literally not move. So
that's good.
He's been a great Instagram dog.
When I first got my puppy, like my family's puppy, and I was home when we got her, and I got her to be so good at taking selfies because you need them to look the right way.
Yeah.
But then I went back to school, and time has passed, and now I can't get her to take a picture because nobody in that house takes selfies except for me, I guess.
You gotta bribe her with a treat now or something.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, that was way off topic, but anyways, so you can follow Maggie at Once Upon a Pumpkin. You can follow me at Cold Sweat Podcasts. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you rate and review so I can keep making episodes. And we'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye. Hi, everyone. It's me, Casey. So as promised, I have two very exciting announcements for you all. First off, I mentioned this a little bit in the episode, but I am hosting a SoulCycle charity ride in August. It's for my 25th birthday, and I still have a few tickets left. The ride will benefit the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, which is a cause that's really important to me. So I would really love it if some of you guys who are listeners could show up. That would be so much fun for me. We have some really great gift bags, some swag from Outdoor Voices, Real Good Juice, Simple Mills, so much more. So if you want tickets, you can go to my Instagram at Cold Sweat Podcast and click on the link in bio, and there'll be a link to the tickets. I hope to see you all there. My second announcement is that Cold Sweat Podcast is going on summer break, which means that this is the end of season 1. In the next month or so, I'm going to be working really hard to record a lot of great episodes for you because starting in the end of August, I will be going to grad school, which is so exciting for me. It has nothing to do with health and fitness, so don't get too excited. But that does mean that I'll have less time. So I want to get some really great episodes for you ready to go. So the week after Labor Day will be the beginning of season 2. So stay tuned for that. If you're looking for some daily inspiration in the meantime, as always, please follow me on Instagram. I love to hear from you guys and see who's interested. As always, submit listener questions to me if you have any, or any topics that you want us to discuss. I'm open to anything. I already have a few really great guests lined up for season 2. So hopefully you'll stay tuned in. And in the meantime, you can follow me on Instagram. And if you're somewhat new to Cold Sweat Podcast, you can go back and listen to the old episodes and get yourself all ready for season 2. Thanks. Bye.